In today's video, we've got a very special conversation. We're going to highlight the success of Tom. Some of you know him as the Kaizen trader. He recently just left his 9-to-5 job to really focus in on his trading and other entrepreneurial ventures. So you guys are going to get a lot of value from this. It's definitely relatable, definitely applicable. So enjoy today's episode. All right, everybody, welcome back. For today's video, we're going to be talking to Tom and just trying to pick apart some of the keys to his success over the last few months, specifically using the ASFX systems and working closely with James and myself in the Black Shirt Club. So Tom, it's good to see you. James, good to be with you, bro. I am really looking forward to today's video because I think a lot of new traders, like I said before we started the call, a lot of new guys in ASFX or just new traders in general are going to be looking to hear how did someone go from working a 9-to-5 and having, other entrepreneurial sources of income. We could talk a little bit about the sports betting if you want, Tom, and just kind of taking all of that and then transitioning it more into like a trading focused thing. And maybe we could even talk about what you're focused on most with your routine now, because now you have so much more free time, I'm sure. So things like that. But are you excited now that you're out of the 9-to-5 rat race, if you would?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a big relief. It's a new chapter. It's really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to being all in with trading and ASFX and just seeing where this new chapter takes me. That's what it's all about.
Great answer. James, when you look at the success that Tom has had, Tom, you've been in the Black Shirt Club like 6 months, really, right? So working closely with us for like 6 months, right?
Yes, that's true. That's correct.
So from my perspective, James, I feel like Tom is one of the key success stories of the Black Shirt Club so far. Do you think of anything when you look at Tom's work ethic that like stands out to you and you're like, that has led to Tom growing faster than most other traders? Is there anything that you think stands out, or is it just him?
No, 100%. I think there's a bit of both factors, right? It's obviously got to be you, and on top of your characteristics, but on top of your like work ethic. So Tom's obviously got natural ability, but then I think one thing for me that stands out for Tom has been, and I think it's a really like defining factor that of why traders make it is that he's not complacent. He's always wanting to get better. He doesn't sit in one and stay in one place. He's always wanting to improve.
100%. Definitely. I think that goes into the Kaizen philosophy, right, Tom? What made you want to start the brand, the Kaizen Trader?
So it was when I was in the 9-to-5. Obviously, I wanted to journal and detail my journey. That's how it started out. And I wanted to do it from a place where I felt comfortable. This of being on YouTube and putting videos out on social media is completely not me, right, from the past. So it was, again, just trying to push myself out of that comfort zone and get my journey out there, really, but in a safe manner. And then it's just sort of grown from there. Again, as sort of James alluded to, really the Kaizen trader of just trying to get a little bit better each time. So then we branched out to sort of social media. We started doing a few appearances on the podcast, ASFX, started doing a bit more presenting. So yeah, just trying to push myself to be the best I can. Really, that's all I've tried to do, whether it's outside of work, whether it's relationships, fitness, whatever it may be. So yeah, that's the Kaizen philosophy.
What motivates you to want to be the best in everything that you do? Is that just who you've been your whole life?
I wouldn't say probably all my life. No, I think I've had parts of my life where I've tried to be the best that I can, but then I sort of not necessarily slip back, but get a little bit complacent or take a break. But I'm definitely learning as I get older that nothing comes easy and you have to push to be the best, because you're only going to get where you want to be through hard work. Hard work trumps everything. And I'm see that as I surround myself by successful people and people that I look up to and admire, all of them work extremely hard and try to be better. So I'm just trying to emulate people that I look up to and respect, really.
That's a great answer.
Nice.
As a new trader, did you come into trading with that mindset of like, I'm going to join ASFX because I see other successful traders there and I want to just model that success?
Yeah, so I made the transition into ASFX at the start of the pandemic, as I think I've previously mentioned. And I was trading sport markets. And when I was doing that, I made all the mistakes that us traders make in terms of blowing banks, didn't trade with rules, no stop losses, all of that. And when I did stumble across the financial markets, I was like, wow, this could really be the future. But if I'm doing it, I want to take all of the mistakes that I made from previous endeavors and I want to do it properly. And I want it to be professional. I want to have rules. I want somebody to teach me risk management. I want somebody to teach me technical analysis. Trading is far more than just clicking buttons on charts. It's a lifestyle. And I wanted a trading community and a group that resonated with me and that could give me what I was looking for in terms of structure around becoming a rounded trader, and not just selling me a course on reading a specific indicator or signals or anything. I want to do this forever. And I also want to help other people. But by doing that, I need to be a professional trader. So that's what I was looking for. And that's when I chose ASFX after months of studying other educators out there.
So then what motivated you to want to join the Black Shirt Club?
To be surrounded by people that are doing what I want to be doing on a daily basis. What are they doing that separates them from the others? So like yourself and James, was the motivation. You see what you're doing every day, day in, day out. You're putting it out there. You're trading for a living. James is going and playing golf. He's got some free time. You go down to the beach. You go to the gym in the day. I want that. That's what I want. I want to go and have walks out in the day with the dog, with the missus. I want, the whole reason we got into trading was for time. Doesn't mean say I'm not going to work hard when I'm at the desk, but I want that freedom to say, right, in the middle of the week, I want to go and have a round of golf, or I want to go and do something. So that was the motivation for coming into the Black Shirt Club, was just to get closer to people that are where I want to be, so I can study them.
Do you find a lot of value in seeing other traders' perspectives in the Black Shirt Club, or is it mainly the communication between me and you and James, like us three?
I think it's there's so many benefits. Being able to ask you questions at any moment of the day and say, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, tell me why you don't want to take that gold trade short earlier, for example. Like, sure. I was asking you, why would you rather wait for the indices and things like that? And right. James taking that GU short, I'm looking at that thinking, I don't see that. I can't see it, but it works out. It's a great trade. James makes great monthly returns. And it's only through being in that group environment, like it is, I suppose, on a prop desk, and that creating that team environment. That's what the Black Shirt Club was for me. It can be a lonely endeavor, but by being in the Black Shirt Club, we're on these calls every single day. We spend hours just chatting and just talking about life and trading and just throwing ideas around. And that for me is invaluable.
And it also kind of, I think, was the lighter fluid for you on your fire to help get you funded and get you across some of those big milestones that a lot of new traders are shooting for and maybe struggling to reach. So I think the community and the aspect of that professionalism and that environment, I think, is definitely one of the most impactful parts of what we're doing right now. Now, that led to not only you getting funded, but us deciding to bring you on with the ASFX TV endeavor and have you sharing your knowledge with other traders. Because like I said to you today, in the Black Shirt Club, we were discussing you becoming a mentor to some people now as time has gone on, and what that responsibility has and what that means and what that does to your mental energy and things like that. So how has your perspective changed now as more people have started to look at you, seeing your success in the Black Shirt Club, seeing you get funded, seeing you on ASFX TV? How does that change your perspective on your own trading? I'm just curious.
I think it makes me have to be even more diligent with my own trading. People are looking at the trades I'm taking. People are asking me the questions that I ask you and ask James. So I want to be able to give them the answer they're ultimately looking for. And if people are looking at me as a mentor, and I still find that pretty strange, given I'm absolutely a student of this game. I am so sort of new into this in terms of people that have been trading for a while. I'm learning every single day. So that still doesn't stop, and I want to keep learning, so I can pass that information on to them. And I want to help people speed up the learning curve, as that's what I was trying to do. I want to shortcut that. I want to help people not make the mistakes that I did.
Yeah.
Even though we had great mentorship from like the likes of yourself and James and Jerome and all the other coaches that were in ASFX, sometimes we all make mistakes, and sometimes we have to learn the hard way. But if I can share some information that helps one person, that's all I'm trying to do.
What was one of the biggest mistakes that you made, that you've corrected over the last 6 months with the Black Shirt Club, do you think?
So I think definitely not taking below par setups. I feel like I don't take many bad setups. I don't take as many trades as other traders because of that. But I'm definitely being a lot more professional. I think I've definitely increased my journaling. I'm making more markups, and I'm just taking it a lot more serious than I probably was. And that's what's led me to get funded. Like you say, I've now been funded for 3 months, doing my second challenge now. So you just get an insight into what professional trading looks like by being around the likes of yourself and James. And that inspires me to want to get better and do the same and be as professional as I can. We're up against, you're fighting in a market that against some of the biggest, largest hedge funds, corporations in the world, and banks and governments. And I think we'd be pretty naive if we think we can just rock up, click some buttons, and without taking this as professionally as them. What makes you think that we have the right to beat them in the market? Because that's who we are trying to take money off when we think about it.
Right.
And that's scary.
Right. You're not wrong. So back to what you said about one of the mistakes being not the improving in not taking as many low probability setups. Think about like when you first came to us, you had D quality setups. Like you were grading some of your trades like Ds, remember?
Absolutely.
And now that never happens now. So I think even just seeing like the selectivity in the trading has been a big thing that's rubbed off on you for sure. I think also like there's value as you start to share, you get smarter, and what you get smarter in is going to be slightly different than what I'm good at and what James is good at. So when we all come together to share these ideas, I think it leads to everyone trading better in the group. Look at Laura, who's, another member who was just past, I think, phase 1 of the challenge. A couple of the guys and girls in the group have been funded, which is amazing. And I think that just shows with systematic trading, you can duplicate the technical success, but I think what you've managed to click is the psychological side. Is there anything on the psychological side that you think has shifted beyond just being more selective in your trading? How are you implementing the less is more mindset more, if that's a better way to phrase the question?
So I think I'm definitely, from a psychological perspective, I think I'm definitely learning that I need to study my mind and myself as much as possible. I think that at any peak level sport, performance sport, to get to the peak level, a lot of the time, the main difference is between the ears. If you go down to, say, a driving range, a PGA Tour event, they can all rip it 300 yards. They can all rip it. But when they're back nine on a Sunday, the ones that are fighting for the top, the ones that come out on top are the ones that have got the mental strength usually. And so by trying to improve the psychological aspect of myself, that's making my trading better. So becoming more patient, doing meditation, not becoming as sort of fearful, not letting FOMO get in the way, not being influenced by other people on Twitter or in a group chat, and trying to jump into trades, I think. But that's only come through being more disciplined in all areas of my life, I'd say. I think it's very difficult to be disciplined on the charts, but not disciplined 100%. Off the charts. Definitely. I think they go hand in hand.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Well, Tom, just a quick one as well from me. Yeah. What do you think since you joined? Because I remember we used to talk on Twitter. We used to interact on Twitter before I even came in a coach with Austin and at ASFX. what do you think changed from your first year into your second and now third year trading? What do you think changed your perspective?
First of all, I think, and by coming on like programs like this and ASFX and being around people like you, or the trading battle for the other day or the other week, for instance, and watching some of the people on there and just being around other professional traders like that Nick from A1 Trading, it's just the level of professionalism that you need to be to succeed. So I think as time goes on, and like I said already, I am definitely a student of this game, as we always are and always will be. But as feel like I'm slowly progressing, I think for the first probably 5 years, it's still just, you're in your apprenticeship, whether you want to admit that or not. And if you don't believe you can make it in 6 months or 12 months, then I don't believe you can. I think it's a long learning process. And for the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we just have to be sponges to learning and take on as much information as we can cope with. We have to make sure that we have a routine to follow. I think routine is definitely a big one. If we're not following a specific routine and we're not consistent with our actions week in, week out, day in, day out, how can we expect consistent results? It's just not going to happen. So I think the first year was definitely about learning ASFX systems, back testing it, making sure that I trust it, because I think that plays a big part. If you don't trust your system that you're trying to deploy, you're going to let emotions overpower you to implement that properly and trade it properly. So I think for the first year, it was definitely about understanding the ASFX strategies, testing them, trading them on demo, and then building confidence. A lot of people think you have to jump into trading and try and double account and double accounts and double accounts. You have to see the long-term perspective in this. It's a marathon, and you want to make sure you're around in 5 years, 10 years. If it takes you 10 years to be profitable, you can make all of that learning back in the next 1 year or 2 years. So stick with it, stay in the game, and just take steady steps in the right direction. That's what I think I'm getting better at now as I move into my second year into sort of trading the financials, is just trying to get better at a little bit each time instead of trying to run before I can walk. There's a lot to learn.
What's your routine like now that you're full time? How has the routine changed?
So I'm definitely figuring that out still. I think I need to find that balance. I think for me as a personal goal, 2022 was all about trying to find balance in my life from a work perspective, relationship. That's no different in my trading. So I think that will be evolving over the next month or so as I find my feet. We've got some life-changing things happening, etc. So that will definitely change. But for now, it's just spending as much time as I feel I can on trading and trying to get better. I have set hours between sort of 8 and 4. So I'm still trying to treat this as a professional job. I work and trade, but in the day there'll be a little bit more flexibility. I feel it's important to schedule regular breaks, so I can have an hour out if the market's slow, take the dog out, etc., whatever it may be. Go out on the bike, go to the gym. That's all needs to now form part of my routine. So yeah, I think it's forever evolving.
For sure. And I think with this transition over the next few months, especially, you'll be solidifying a lot of that and falling into a new routine, and that's part of the exciting thing. So if you would look back to yourself when you first found ASFX, or when you first really made the commitment to learning how to trade financial markets, what would you tell yourself if you could tell yourself one thing?
Oh, it's a great question. This is going to be tough. You're going to have to do a lot of self-reflection, but it will absolutely be worth it. Put in the hard work. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and just stick with it. I think if a lot of people, I've seen it since being in ASFX for 18 months. Yeah, nearly 2 years now. Mm-hmm. a lot of people come and go. A lot of people
100%.
move on to a new strategy, try something else, go and look at that, and they never get that exponential growth. I'd just say, just commit to something for longer than 6 to 12 months. Give it 3 years, give it 5 years, and then see where there you are if it's not working.
Great advice,
Great
bro.
answer. Yeah.
Great answer. So I think we could wrap it up here, boys. I think this has been a great interview. I think if people want to hear more from you guys, especially you, Tom, since we're highlighting your success, they can come to ASFX TV. So we'll put a link in the description. You can go to www.asfx.tv. You can subscribe for the 3-day free trial, and you guys can check it out for yourself. Come see Tom trade live, watch myself, watch James. We're all sharing our different perspectives every day throughout the week. So you'll be able to learn and take what you like from each one of us and take what you don't like, and really build that into, or at least I should say, let it help mold you into the trader that you're meant to be. So definitely come check out ASFX TV. I'll put a link in the description. But Tom, congratulations again, bro. It's a big milestone. Very, very proud of you. Very happy for this. James, I appreciate you making some time to be here, bro. I always appreciate your support. And for everybody watching, we appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up, drop a comment, give Tom some love in the comments. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. I'll put his Twitter in the description too. And we will see you guys in the next video.